Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people who hate reading. This week we're doing the movie Wizards, made in 1977, part of our animation theme on Real Flix Reviews this month. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and
Hello.
Ryan Preston. This month we're doing animation for Real Flix Reviews, so I decided to pick the strangest animated cartoon I know besides Fritz the Cat, and that's Wizards, made in 1977. And here is the description on more of IMDb's amazingly decisive descriptions. It's on a post-apocalyptic Earth, a wizard and his fairy folk comrades fight an evil wizard who's using technology in his bid for conquest.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, who would like to go first, or do you want me just to give my opinions first?
I want to hear Ryan.
Okay. You're up.
I hate you so much for making me watch this. Halfway through, I had to go back and check the website to see if this was actually the movie that I was supposed to be watching, because it's just like, no, this couldn't be it. What the hell? I feel like I was watching like Cool World or something again.
Oh no, this is
animation.
Oh no, this is worse than Cool World.
Oh,
no,
much
it's
worse.
not.
But it was
I don't
like,
think it's
if
worse than Cool World.
Only took place in this weird ass animation world. They mixed up so much shit. I mean, post-apocalyptic Earth, and all of a sudden fairies and elves and whatnot come back. Like that's a little bass backwards.
I was going to say my description of the animation style, because I thought this fit perfect, was it's an animated version of a fevered acid flashback.
Oh yeah, with arguably the worst voice acting I've ever heard in my life. Although halfway through it, I think I did start to think that the guy that was playing Avatar was George Carlin.
No, he was actually the Hulk from the old cartoon show in the 80s.
Right, that's what I ended up looking up, but for a couple of moments he sounded exactly like a young George Carlin.
At least it wasn't Lou Ferrigno.
Well, maybe that's why he's making me watch this piece of shit, because it, had him at a young age or something. But no, it wasn't even that clever.
Ouch.
I hated this movie even before the Nazi shit started to take place. Once that happened, it was just, oh crap, I have to finish this movie because we have to talk about it. It might be one of the most disturbing, most confusing pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, how do you really feel about it?
Weird ass hippy dippy message of like technology is bad and like let everybody oh god damn it.
So I guess he gave his points.
Yeah,
more or less.
I guess that's pretty much all that he's got. Wow,
that's it.
A very good opinion there. Very, very well thought out and in depth.
Usually you're more descriptive there.
Well, I mean, look, how descriptive could I really get? I mean, I really was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Okay, you got this wizard who's trying to make everybody, or that's trying to. What the hell was his plan before all this shit happened? This one evil guy, his evil brother, was trying to take over the world by using a projector with World War II footage.
He was going to hang out with basically a almost naked fairy in a bikini. Right,
which and all
he
of
had
a
a good
sudden
plan.
It started to get really bloody. Yeah, I couldn't figure out who the hell they tried to make this movie for. If it was supposed to be like for kids or for adults.
Adults, people on acid.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it was, I think.
Wow.
With this whole, like, history repeats itself kind of mentality, and fear is bad, and don't. Oh, Jesus Christ, the projector, dude. What the hell? A projector?
So I guess. So I should defend it, I guess, after that.
Were you actually going to defend
this, or
were you just doing this to mess with us?
I was going to try.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I'm going to let John go to as a rebuttal to Ryan right now.
Well, I was going to say
a rebuttal or an apology.
You decide.
I'll be honest, this movie is not the greatest animation movie ever. I picked it just because it was, even for the 70s, I thought this animation style was completely different, and I thought it was worth mentioning just on the animation style alone. Story-wise, no. But I think the interesting thing about this animation is it's an interesting mix of fixed drawing, moving backgrounds with traditional and rotoscoped animation.
Yeah, the only
Lots
thing that
of
looked decent was some of the rotoscope still stuff.
Lot of rotoscoped. I mean, this movie almost has as much rotoscoped as Lord of the Rings cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know, that it also, I thought, has a very one-dimensional plot with a historical background, adding some depth, adding kind of the Nazi imagery on it. I thought the thing about it was cool is you had, the traditional bad guy who for some reason wanted to destroy the world and somehow thousands of years later dug up a working projector and Nazi film footage.
It wasn't working, it took fairies to work it.
But I've seen this movie a couple of times. I actually own it. Which, by the way, nobody will ever steal this movie from me. It's going to be the one thing I'll probably die with because I won't be able to sell it. I like the movie. I mean, I like the animation style. I'm a sucker for all sorts of weird animation styles. It is really weird because the fact it is like watching a flashback even if you've never done acid.
Okay. Conceptually, maybe interesting, but execution I didn't even think was that great. I mean, I talk a lot of shit about Franken and Bass, just in general, the Lord of the Rings guy with the Hobbit and stuff, but
by the way,
style is worlds better than this.
Which is, by the way, I picked it because of you. So if anybody, it's all your fault.
Ah, Jesus, I'm sorry, everybody.
I actually do like it. I think the message is a little Captain Planet and the Planeteers-y.
Yeah, a little bit. That's why I said it kind of had this sort of hippy-dippy sort of message to it.
I mean, I don't think it could wave the hippie flag harder if it tried.
Really?
I always thought it was funny because I don't know if this is for adults because it's not quite on the level of the Fritz the Cat, which is, I think, the same era.
Right, but yeah, that's obviously for adults.
Because this is very close between some of the phallic symbols and the way people dress.
And not to mention all the blood and everybody getting shot and...
Yeah. I like it, though. What about you, James?
I didn't think this one was as bad as Cool World. That's a low blow.
Oh, no, I didn't think so.
No, I think it's a low blow.
Do you remember the animation of Cool World?
Oh,
this
yeah.
This was an entire movie of that.
Yeah, but it wasn't trying to throw in...
Brad Pitt.
It's not trying to throw in a whole nother dimension into it of mixing in live action with cartoon.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that pretentious.
And horribly done too. Because Cool World, it was horribly done. So on that basis, I don't think it was very well done at all. This movie, I'm talking about Cool World.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, I didn't think it was that bad as you do, but I thought the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, the old Franken and Bass, as you bring up, were just garbage, to be honest. This one, not as bad, because it was I think it was making fun of itself.
Yeah, I don't think it took itself way too serious.
Hold on.
The Lord of the Rings, hold on, shut up. The Lord of the Rings
Ouch.
was a movie that was taking a fantastic storytelling and trying to put it in cartoon form and failed miserably.
I think this guy did the Lord of the Rings one. Franken and Bass did the Hobbit.
Yeah. I don't know. Did he do this one?
The fact that you could even compare the two is insane.
No, it's just they're both crap, to be honest.
Well, the Lord of the Rings...
Anyway.
Yeah, you're right. He did the Lord of the Rings in 1978. And
wow.
Fritz the Cat. Oh!
And Cool
World. That
World.
makes sense! Cool
Lord
World!
of the Rings.
This guy did Fritz... Wait, what?
He did Fritz the Cat, Lord of the Rings, and Cool World.
Shut the hell up.
Those are his IMDb top 4.
Known for.
The Lord of the Rings, Wizards, Fritz the Cat, and Cool World.
Son of a bitch.
I'll be...
I hate this guy so much. Thank God you stopped working in 1997.
Is this your Scorsese?
Oh man, this
Is this guy your Scorsese?
This guy than Scorsese right now.
I'll be honest. I love cartoons of any type. So that for me,
Well, hold on, I'm not even done. Now, the other thing is that, the guy who did Avatar, Bob Holt, he was actually slightly a successful voice actor if you look at his record. I mean, he did the Hulk. He played the voice of the Hulk in the 1980s cartoon. And then, you know who played Peace?
Oh yeah, that was Mark Hamill.
No.
Oh wait, that was the other kid.
David Proval was the guy who played the red guy, Peace.
Right, Peace. That was the red guy.
And he was the guy in Four Rooms that was holding his wife hostage.
No shit.
No shit.
Wow, he must have been wicked young.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the other thing I was going to bring up that I forgot, but Mark Hamill played the little fairy dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
Yeah, he played one of the twins.
Voice actor you have in this entire thing, and you kill him after one line.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, he was throughout the entire movie.
No.
No, he died after saying one line.
Sean.
He said one line and got killed.
No.
Sean.
He was. He said more than one line. He went through almost the entire movie.
No, I think you're thinking of.
No, you're talking about not the little elf.
Black Wolf
with the sword. The little fairy dude in the forest.
No, I thought he was the guy
Black
with
Wolf.
the. He was Sean. He was one of the twin characters.
Yeah. Wait.
No, he was one of the fairies that when they I can't believe I'm starting to go through the story of this like it fucking happened.
Yeah.
When the half naked fairy chick was captured, the reason she was captured is because all those little fairies died.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one to fucking die was Sean, Mark Hamill. He said one thing like, "I am Sean." When the fairies were messing with him. And then they said, "Oh, they get a little ahead of themselves. They're a little ornery or whatever hell." And then they get all killed.
Hey, you remember that guy when they're sitting there and he's like, "You guys killed Fritz."
Yeah.
That was the guy. That was the director of the movie.
Mm-hmm. And it was also talking about Fritz the cat and how he died at the end of the movie.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think this movie was as bad as his previous one of Lord of the Rings or the other one of Cool World, but the story doesn't really need to be dimensional. It's like heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, it's pretty much like heavy metal. There's no real story to it. Even if there was a story to it, it wouldn't really go anywhere.
So what are you saying that this movie is relying on, if not for the crappy story?
Nothing.
Because it ain't the animation. It ain't the voice acting.
It's not the voice acting. It's people that like trippy, weird cartoons. That's what this movie was. There's no basis to it. There's no real in-depth story. There's nothing to it. But as far as that, I think it was okay.
So in the way that Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke album came with an album-sized joint paper, this should come with a sheet of LSD.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I'm saying. I'm pretty much saying that this movie was for the acid generation.
I do think, though, if you like animation of any sort, I think you'll like this, at least on the level that's an animation style that they just don't do, that died in the 70s.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Animation of any sort, you will watch this and learn to hate animation.
The way that I look at it, hold on, I agree with you both. I agree with John, this is a vintage style. And hold on, and I agree with Ryan that I'm glad it's gone. So,
well, I don't know.
No, hold on. Because he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you are on the fence about animation movies and you watch this movie, you will swear off any animation.
If you watch anything that this guy is known for, you will swear off animation.
I gotta agree with you there too, because Cool World pretty much was.
I'll be honest. I think this movie's a lot better than all 5 Shrek movies, and there's one of them.
No, hell no.
I do.
Well, you can think that, but you can be wrong.
Listen, all the Shrek movies are exactly the same. All 5 have the same exact plot, story, and everything. They're just rehashed 5 times.
You ever watched the Halloween special?
I've seen all the movies.
I've seen all the movies, and I think the first one is really great.
Well, see, the benefit of it just being one movie, it's one movie, and then they stopped.
Well, he's
got a point
animating
there.
Shit.
He
went on to torture us for many, many years.
A couple decades.
Yes, but there's only one Wizards movie, and he didn't do any of that style after that.
No,
because nobody was going to pay him to do a Wizards 2. They didn't throw enough money at the guy who did Shrek to do another one.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I disagree with you completely that this movie is better than any of the Shreks. You could watch Shrek 10, and it would be better than this one.
I'd rather watch Starsky and Hutch reruns.
Okay.
Me too.
I not arguing, but I'm just saying that if you're gonna compare them against each other, Shrek is way better. Way better. What's that smell? Anyway.
I don't know. I like this because I do think if you're a fan of animation style, especially one of a more vintage style that they won't do anymore, I think you'll like it just on the basis of the style alone. Because it doesn't have... The story by itself is very 70s, very acidy, cocaine-induced.
Yeah, but you gotta
out.
be on acid and cocaine to really, really want to see this movie.
I don't agree 100%. I like the movie just because of the animation style. Like I said, I'm a fan of animation and period.
You're a fan of that animation. You like that style.
I'm a fan of animation in general.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's a goofy, almost wannabe, not even close to being as good as a Tex Avery animation style with rotoscope.
Well, I don't think you could.
That's what I think it is.
I don't think you could compare this to a Tex Avery. Matter of fact, I think that's doing disservice to Tex Avery comparing this to Tex Avery cartoon.
Well, what I mean is by the loopy movements that they have. They kind of had over-exaggerated gestures and movements as they're walking, not actually the way that they're drawn.
I'll be honest, and I don't know if this is what it was or not, but this movie seemed like it was niche the year it was made.
Yeah.
So, like Tex Avery, you get some of those cartoons with some of the best animators in the world. This was more like, hey, here's $50,000. Let's get drunk and make a movie. I mean...
let's get drunk, drop acid, smoke a lot of Bammer weed, and,
with animation, though, what I tend to do is like, okay, some things aren't animated as well as others, so I can look past the animation as long as the story is kind of carrying me through it. Other things, I can
wait, and you don't like Cool World?
The crappy story because the animation's so spectacular. This sort of fell short on both things for me. I guess that's why I'm just so angry.
Wow. Maybe it's because I can excuse bad storytelling, being a big fan of 50s science fiction movies.
Yeah, but even then they were reaching for the stars when they were doing those things. I mean, no pun intended, but they were really going out there doing all they could, to with the camera tricks and everything seemed sort of, in place and how they could do it. They did as much as they could do to tell the type of stories that they did in the 50s. This guy copped the hell out.
I would be interesting. I mean, I think we're online. IMDb gave this a 6.2 out of 10, which is higher than I would have thought.
He needs to shoot himself.
Overall, what rating would you give it? Because I have an idea, but I'm curious.
Can we give zeros?
Nope.
1?
Wow. James?
I gotta go with a 2.
Wow.
Because I don't absolutely hate it. I just don't dislike it. I
just don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, and I don't think that there's that much to redeem it on. Kind of like what Ryan's saying, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's sit down and watch Wizards.
No, yeah, I mean, even the self-aware stuff that you were bringing up, James, the jokes even were way too long. They let them sit there for too long, and it's like, okay, the joke's over. Let's move it along here, buddy.
Yeah, and I'd also go with you on that. Is sometimes I felt the line delivery was pretty bad. It was kind of like delayed. It was like they were waiting for the beep. You know what I mean?
Oh, great! It's lines via click track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, it's almost like they had no context. They were just sort of reading it without knowing what came before or after, or what it was in response to. It was just sort of saying the dialogue.
I'll be honest. And I'll probably get crap for this. I think this is definitely. I think if you like animation in general and you're willing to see bad animation, I think this is worth seeing. because I like animation of any type. I've seen. This is far by not the worst animated movie cartoon I've ever seen. I've seen much worse.
I'm hard pressed to think of one at the moment, but I will concede one point with you, John, as far as if you kind of want to see where animation came from, you know what I'm saying, like, and not necessarily the Tex Avery kind of stuff or the
Steamboat Willie.
No, I was trying to think of Mel Blanc kind of stuff.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Because that stuff's in the 40s and it was all drawn and flip book kind of style. This sort of introducing new styles and the rotoscoping and new styles of animation, it was really the kind of new way to do animation sort of at that time. So I mean, if you're into sort of the genealogy of animation, yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna go for it. I'll definitely give it a 3 out of 5 for me.
So yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Because like
0,
I said,
1, 2,
you know,
3.
apparently I'm the Wizards apologist because I enjoyed it. But
wait a minute. Did Ryan give it a 10? Give it a 1 and a 0.
Good point.
Ryan, you gave it a 10.
No, I give it a 0.1. 0.01.
0.01.
Okay, so apparently I'll never be picking this movie again.
Just do it on a date night.
You know, depending on the chick, I could probably get away with that.
Hey, if you find a chick who's into watching this movie with you, John, you marry that girl.
You have a ring ready in the box,
and you don't let that one get away.
Lock it in the closet. Wow. Okay, so now
the world part 1 status, from just over the head and drag her into the cave.
Oh man.
Oh wow. Okay.
Anyway.
Transition music after that playing. Okay, so now is the part for movie news in the show. And I found something, wanted to see what you guys thought. Fast and Furious 7 to start shooting this summer.
Well, of course it is.
Wait, are they lining them up and shooting them?
This is the new James Bond franchise that everybody's going to be watching for the next 35 years.
Who cares about rice rockets?
So do you think they're jumping the shark, as it were? Do you think that movement is coming
down? They
down?
jumped the shark with the first one when they jumped the railroad tracks with a freaking like a Charger or whatever the hell that, or a Challenger.
Okay. I'll be honest, I'm a quasi fan of these movies. Far as I'll watch them on HBO.
Wait, you like Tokyo Drift?
It was okay. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I like the cars. So that's the only reason, because the plot's as weak as 3-2 beer, and they can't find good actors if you knocked one over the head and forced them to act. Everybody in the movie can't act. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, none of them can act.
Arguably one of the worst actors I've ever seen.
Who?
Paul Walker.
Oh, yeah. I don't disagree. So I'd like it if it's on one of the Alphabet channels or HBO and that's the only thing on at 5 in the morning. I'll watch it. Why not?
I live my life quarter mile at a time.
Which, by the way, is the best delivery for the most poorly written line in history.
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick in his grave rolled over.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a fan of the franchise at all. It was already reaching at the first one, you know what I mean? Which is why, usually, like the first movie, the first Fast and the Furious, seemed like a sequel already. You know what I mean? Like it seemed like this is the second one to a popular movie.
I got it. It's Bullet and Ronan's spiritual successor, Drunk.
Wow. Bullet had better car chases.
Well, duh. That's why I said it's like their bastard child.
And Bullet filmed that car chase going around the same corner with just like 9 different camera angles and just kind of cut it in different weird ways.
Like I said, it's in the modern crappier version of Bullet and the car chase scene from Ronin.
Oh, that was a good damn car chase scene too from Ronin.
Actually, it's more like the last James Bond movie.
Great of a car chase. I've seen better.
So the next one is
more theatrical. I don't know if you've seen better.
So the next movie is The Dredd is confirmed to come back as a short film instead of a sequel.
Wait, Dredd.
Judge Dredd. The new Judge Dredd did so poorly. The new Judge Dredd did so poorly that it's coming back as a short film instead of a true sequel.
Wow. I actually liked the remake Judge Dredd.
Well, I'm
better than the Stallone.
I'm proposing a new curse. Call it the Stallone curse. If Stallone was in it, they can't remake it because it's generally bad and it'll fail as a new movie.
Stallone...
Right. See, that's the thing. I mean, usually when they remake these movies, they're sort of remaking a title that people want to see. With Judge Dredd, it's
nobody really liked it.
You're making a title that really only a handful of people wanted to see the original one.
Yeah, and they were all pissed that Stallone did it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, because it was based on the book.
I don't think the Dredd series was a bad series. I just think, like you said, Stallone did such a poor job that, it's...
Rob Schneider was in it. Name a good movie he's in. Okay, time's up. See, that's what I think. So I think we should call it the Stallone curse, because if he was in it, any remake they ever do is gonna die.
So you mean Rocky's dead?
Yes.
If they ever try to remake it.
Yes. No Rocky 12, please.
Adrian's Revenge.
No, wait. No, it's gonna be. I got it. Let's have Adrian come back as a zombie and.
No, Ryan gets that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Adrian's Revenge.
Okay, and the next one is how many here have read the game, the movie, the book Ender's Game? Because I've never read it, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. I haven't read it, but I do know they are making a movie.
Ryan?
I do not even know what this is.
Well, Ender's Game's trailer is to debut ahead of Star Trek Into Darkness.
Really?
Yeah.
See, this is the one that it kind of makes me go back to the Spartans from Halo. It kind of sounds like them.
That's where I was wondering if they got the idea.
I don't know, because you got to look up when the book was written and, when Halo had done the whole thing. I think Ender's Game came out before the Halo series.
Ender's Game was published in 1985, according to Wikipedia.
Quite a lot of years before Halo came out.
Yeah. So that's why I really think it came from that.
Halo, or the Spartan idea.
I think it came from
concept.
that.
Yeah.
Well, because there's also, if you watch the movie Soldier with Kurt Russell, it has a very similar idea. That's why I think that was the genesis of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of wanting to see it based off of what I know the Spartans, and, I kind of want to... I liked it.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm trying to pop up a... Okay, there's no way I'm going to read that in time. And the other one is, wanted to see the new Vin Diesel Riddick movie. Comes out in September or August of this year. What do you guys think?
Riddick?
I was a huge fan of Pitch Black.
I was too.
I thought it was
even Chronicles
kind of
of Riddick.
Sleeper of a really, really good story and a good movie. Chronicles of Riddick kind of lost me a little bit. But I think it lost enough of its audience to where if they're making a new one, they're probably going to realize that people sort of fell off the wagon with Chronicles. That they might have something. They might have a good enough story to continue it. So.
Well, everything I've read is it's basically they say that it's gone back to its roots. It's more of a dark feel, and apparently he's running from the necromancers and bounty hunters and. Because I liked all three. I think the Chronicles of Riddick was kind of, the Star Wars 1, 2, and 3 version of a Riddick movie.
Yeah. Did you ever see the cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Was it network or was it like a...
It was just a cartoon release.
It was like a 30, 45-minute animated movie. Nothing. Okay, and
But I like the universe, though, so I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be honest. If it's a good movie, I'll be surprised, and maybe it's one we'll do for our theater pick.
Yeah.
But I don't foresee it being a good movie.
Yeah.
Especially considering Vin Diesel's previous movies.
Yeah, but Pitch Black, man, that he kind of redeemed himself for me in that one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I mean, but then he turns around and how many Fast and Furious was he in?
Well, he did all these...
but still, I mean, you can't necessarily...
Well, Pitch Black was one of his first movies.
I know.
Right.
I'm not...
Well, I don't think that Schwarzenegger's a great actor, but you put him in the right role, he's perfect for it.
Like Hercules in New York.
I was thinking Terminator.
Well, that's cute.
It's not a tumor.
Twins, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, next week is James's picking. So, what movie are you going to grace us with?
Well, I'm going to see if Ryan can figure out which movie I'm going to pick because, I mean, it's starring Bob Hoskins and Christopher Lloyd.
The now retired Bob Hoskins.
Does that count?
No. Wait, as animated? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it technically counts, but does it count? I
Yes.
would count that.
Yeah, it's got to be counted. Huh?
But okay, Mary Poppins wouldn't count because that's such a short part. But I'll count this movie.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, now,
Who
now,
Framed Roger
audience out there are 12 movies before Who Framed Roger Rabbit who had animation and live action put together.
Rabbit. Was there really 12 of them?
12.
Holy shit!
I wasn't expecting that many either, but I looked up the history, and there's 12 movies. One of them was German, and another one was another foreign flick. But there was 12 movies that did that, but none of them were as groundbreaking as Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Well, not to mention one thing, but I want to bring up before we actually watch this for all you people out there. Never again will you ever see such an amalgamation of copywritten characters in the same movie.
Yeah.
Ever again. You
Yes.
will never see characters from Disney, in the exact same movie. It will never happen again.
Yeah. So now I mentioned this to John, and we both agreed this one would count because there are lots of animated styles in here, and not only one of the most difficult animated styles to do, which is live action next to animated.
Right. At a time when you're not computer generating all this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this was all cell-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I've read there's a rumor about them making a Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2, and Disney's going to use their new 2D, 3D animation style.
Okay.
Basically, it's a CGI 2D computers.
Well, I mean, 10 years ago, I despised Disney and practically anything Disney. But they've turned it around, and they're trying to market a more adult scene.
You
So
just
they're
like it
trying
because
to.
they
Well,
bought Star
and it
Wars.
started with them jumping on board with Pixar and getting talent, basically.
Yeah,
They,
pretty much,
They
yeah.
they surround themselves with the most talented people in the entire animation business, and
Well, they
That's what
stopped re-releasing the same movies over and over and over and over and over again.
No, they still do that.
No, they still do that, but then, I mean, that's not their only niche now.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's what their niche was before.
Besides, Disney
we're
was...
going to put Little Mermaid in moratorium for 20 years, so when it comes back out, everybody's going to buy one.
Yeah.
Besides, Disney's still evil. Now they can prove it. They have the dark side.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, next week we're going to be doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Sweet.
And good job kind of putting those two together.
Well,
Not very many movies
I
that
think
Christopher
Bob
Lloyd
Hoskins,
and Bob
and
Hoskins ever
Christopher
did.
Lloyd were ever in together, weren't they?
Yeah. Huh?
I think it's the only movie Hoskins and Lloyd were ever in together.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. So, ladies and gentlemen, I gave the movie Wizards, unsurprisingly, a 3 out of 5. James gave it a 2 out of 5, and Ryan is pathetic and gave it a 1 out of 5. So, ladies and gentlemen, as James said, next week we're doing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and see you next week.
Goodbye.